Hi and welcome back to Surrendered. Once again, I'm very excited to be here. Surrendered is a channel about our relationship because every day we're going to be intentional on living and making our relationships to grow, to work out better and more purposefully as God intended through godly surrendered. My name is Kimani. I just can't tell you how excited I'm here. I'm so excited that you're also here with me. Thank you for your encouragement along this journey. It's all about relationship. I'm glad that you're sharing these videos. I'm glad that you're telling somebody somewhere there is a channel that can help you to work out your relationship better. Thank you very much. In today's video, we will be talking about a topic called I'm just not good enough. Have you heard somebody say, I'm not good enough? Have you heard somebody say, I am to blame? Have you heard somebody say, if only I did not do this? Have you heard somebody say, if I was not in the picture, maybe, just maybe, things would have worked out? That's the natural tendency when things don't work out. I personally can have that tendency of beating myself when you have a project, a goal, a relationship, when you have invested in something and it fails or sometimes it doesn't kick off. The likely statement that will come from me or from you is, I'm not just good enough. In this case, we're talking about our relationship. You have this relationship which you believed with all your heart it was God-given. You have invested in it, praying about it, given time to it. You have pushed away other things so that you can just invest in this, just to see it grow and work out as you thought God wanted you to. And then something happens along the way. When this happens, even if the reasons might be right, the first thing that will happen to you, you'll tell yourself, I'm to blame for it. I'm not good enough. If things keep failing in your life and you don't have space to ask yourself, did I play a part? Is there something I could have done better? Could something have been done more excellently? Then you also have a problem. But what I'm here to talk about is you cannot live your life throughout blaming yourself for something sometimes you are not in a position to change. I'm not vilifying, I'm not belittling, I'm not trivializing that when a relationship doesn't work out, that things don't go well. I am not in any way demeaning the fact that there will be pain, there will be doubt, there will be questions of how did this happen? I did so much. You put yourself so much into the picture of your relationship. And when things don't work out your way, you blame yourself. Now that your relationship may not have gone the direction that you wanted it to go, now that you're feeling, oh, my whole 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and I'm talking to you when you're single. It could also be maybe a marriage and it didn't work out, and worse enough when you have already committed. You know, when you're single it's different because we say it's better a broken relationship than a broken marriage, but the two coins, they go through the same. But I just want to give you this thought that in all the things that happen as we relate, as we look for joy, as we look for happiness, God is involved. Even God is involved in some mistakes that happen in our lives, because I'm of this thought that whatever has happened to us, whether it came through the hand of the devil, whether it came through the hand of the people, it passed through the hand of the Lord. And God is in charge and God is in control. And sometimes it's not easy to see that picture of God's presence in a hurting situation when your relationships don't work out the way you thought they ought to have worked out. When things did not turn out the way you thought they should have turned out, you should take this position that God saw something in that relationship, because you are limited. You don't see the full picture. God saw something that you hadn't seen, and your going could have prevented you from a bigger problem. God knows all things. He knows your tomorrow. So as we think about what to do next, because we can't live there, I cannot underestimate the pain that you go through. I cannot even underestimate the thoughts that you flash back with. You think, all these years, I've been waiting for this and now it's not working out. That one, I am aware of it, because same here, I've gone through a few things in life and I'm thinking, I thought I was past this. I thought this ought to have happened many years ago. It happens to all of us. But for you, the single person, and of late I'm very, very soft towards you, because when you're late, life looks like an eternity. The fact that it didn't work out, it doesn't mean that it will not work out again. The fact that you were hurt, it doesn't mean that you cannot be healed. The fact that you were betrayed, it doesn't mean that you cannot be trusted again. And the fact that the person you cared for, the fact that the person you gave yourself to, in terms of time, in terms of moments, in terms of vulnerability, the fact that they turned their backs on you, it doesn't mean that you cannot find happiness and joy in another relationship. I want us to talk about some of the things that we should do in order not to be held from achieving and going ahead and trusting God again for other things that are coming. Some of the relationships you have found yourself in, they are not even good enough for you, but you won't see that because you're in love and you're thinking nothing better than this. Some relationships, they are toxic. Some hurt you, everyone can see from outside yourself, but you can't see because you're blind. Somebody's looking at you and they're wondering, what are they doing there? Can't they see for themselves? Some are absolutely a no. But you yourself, because you're in the center of it, you won't notice that. Such relationships, you should have left them yesterday. Accept that it has happened. It's not easy. The important thing in accepting is learn the lesson. Did you learn something? Whether you contributed to you being told to walk away, or you telling someone to walk away, or you being left and you didn't know what happened, it is learning the lesson, because in that relationship, no one is an angel. I have learned that I'm not an angel. And in every relationship, I always tell myself, it's possible. God has given me such good friends. And in some particular relationships that I value, sometimes I tell myself, it is possible. It is my friend who is being gracious to me. When I sit down and I think about my husband, I think he's more gracious in the relationship. But when I am looking at things, I can be tempted to think I am the one who makes this relationship to work. It is important to learn. Even when you had it, maybe there was grace coming from the other end. Learn the lesson. What did I do? What did you do? Well, did you say something? Could you learn in the next relationship to maybe control your tongue? Did you have maybe an attitude? Were you able to be confidential? Were you able to be gracious? Were you able to be patient? What are some of the things that exposed you to that person that could have contributed a little? Learn the lesson and move on. It is easier to cling than to move on. Now, what next after you have learned the lesson? Go past the lesson. That will be the hard part. The lesson has been learned, but you refuse to go. You say, well, I should go, but I cannot let go. I know I ought to have moved, but I don't feel like. I'm in business also, and sometimes an item can be in that shelf for such a long time. And severally, my husband has told me, why don't you do an inventory? Check out the things that you have kept in this shelf for over 6 months and you're not selling, and don't rebuy them. But because I like them and I tend to think, then go, I'll keep on buying an item that will not go. Although I've learned, I no longer do that. Now, this is the hardest thing for you to do. When you have learned your lesson, you will try to move ahead, but because your thoughts are attached to the relationship, you will hold back. Don't do that. Go past that. You'll be a better student. The other thing I will caution you against, don't go to the next relationship like there's no tomorrow. Like the bus is leaving and another bus will never come. Let me just encourage you. The lessons that you learn in life, they help you as a stepping stone for the next things in life. When you go to another relationship as a rebound, you will be hurt again. Take time. Pray about it. If you had prayed for it from the beginning, you can pray again. And sometimes we pray and we pray amiss. You can't blame yourself. Don't just sit there and say, I'm not good enough. If only I was like this. It didn't work out. And you're not necessarily always to be blamed. It doesn't have to be you did something. Have you considered that in some relationships, some people are irredeemable? They will keep on doing things, they'll keep on doing stuff, they'll keep on talking down to you, and they will blame it on you. But because you do not understand yourself fully, you will always be like a punching bag. You tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not handsome enough, I am not strong enough, if only I said no. Now, because you want to say no, your thoughts will tell you, will I ever get another one? Yes, you will, but not too soon. Wait until you heal. If you go to the next one, you will carry the same problems you had in this relationship to the next one. Some of the reasons why you rush so quickly to the next relationship, you want to show that person, hey, I'm still relevant, I'm still available. Did you see how many people are looking at me? Kumbe, the people who are waiting for you, they just are a trap. Don't lose your identity when you're looking for other relationships. As we have always said, look for your relationship, look for your identity in God alone. The reason why I'm asking you not to rush to the next relationship like this, not tomorrow. You'll keep on going from this friend to the next one. And when friendships don't work out, you will keep on moving from this church to the next, because you'll say perfect people exist in this next church. Let me tell you, perfect does not exist yet. And if you keep on moving from one relationship to the other, this is the only time perhaps I can ask you to blame yourself, because if the same things happened in the first relationship, that one you can't be blamed. If they happen in the second relationship, start asking, wherever I go, why is it not working out? The third and the fourth one, you are the common denominator. Watch out that you're not the one who is bringing problems to other relationships. Then heal. Heal. After you have healed, you'll be able to see a clearer picture. The other thing you should do is let go and let God. We always say, oh, let go, let God. When a relationship is broken, you don't let go. You feel like, I want to hold on. I want to grip. In surrender, we normally encourage one another by saying, you cannot keep what you cannot control. When you lose your grip, you feel like you have lost it. But let me tell you, when you lose your grip, you go into the hands of God. You're happier, you're more hopeful. Let God be the center of your next relationship. When God takes the center stage, He will always be, by the power of the Holy Spirit, remind you, hey, watch out for your tongue, watch out for your wordings, watch out for your attitude, watch out for the fact that you don't look for me before you go to the next one. There's this thing I have in me. When I feel like some relationships in my life are not working, I don't know, maybe you can apply this. Whenever my relationships are in shambles, they are not working out, I go to God and look for my relationships in God. I check myself with God. Where am I going wrong? Sometimes it's because I've not spent time with God. Sometimes it's because I've not made God my first best friend. But when my relationships with God are okay, He starts causing the other relationships to be in line with His will. Then take responsibility. If there is something that you did that caused a hurt, and that hurt led you to where you are, please, we have said again and again, don't be too big for your boots. Don't say, I cannot see myself going to say sorry. Just say the word sorry. And don't just say, if I wronged you, then I'm sorry. If I did that, I'm sorry. If that can help, then I'm sorry. Many times, it is not even the words that you say, it is how you say those words. Take responsibility. It takes a strong person, it takes a humble person to see their error and see how taking responsibility for their error will heal. Take responsibility. Don't beat about the bush. Don't cover it. Don't defend it. Don't defend yourself. Don't be too insecure. Just say, I did this and this. I apologize for it. If you're the offender and not the offended, you can actually brag and lift your shoulders and say, at least this one I did not mess it. Somebody messed me up. No. Don't be abusive. Don't be the offended offender. Somebody will offend you, but you will turn out to be the offender. You don't have to just nail it, cling it, and bang it and remind them 101 times of what they have done. Whenever you do that, somebody remembers that you're not even thinking about what they themselves had also invested. Just walk quietly. One of the most important things that we fail to do, it is to pray. When all things don't work out, try prayer again. It is on the assumption that you had asked God and things didn't work out. When you pray, you first find yourself in the place of prayer. You see the picture of the relationship that you had through prayer. And who knows, God could be actually removing you from a permanent problem. But when you're walking and you feel like, I don't want to pray. I do not want to pray. I prayed and it didn't work out. I prayed and God didn't listen. I prayed and it still failed. So Don't blame yourself. Don't say you're not good enough. Don't stay there. Don't keep on saying if only. There is a time to fall and there is a time to stand up. There is a time to plant and there is a time sometimes to uproot that relationship. And when you uproot, there is a time to restore that relationship. So don't blame yourself again. Don't keep on saying I'm not good enough. Don't allow those thoughts to bog you down to a level whereby you can never be trusted by anybody. Sometimes you despise yourself so much that you give nobody a chance to trust you or to love on you. Give yourself moments of being loved. Give yourself moments of being listened to. Give yourself moments with your God. Because as it is, if you are not complete in yourself, even that relationship will not complete you. The person who completes you, it is God. Once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your continued support and prayers. I get your calls, I get your SMSs, I get your DMs, and I'm praying to God that as long as we are here together, we will learn together, we will grow together, we will nourish, and we will blossom in our relationships. Continue to share, like this video, share them in your social groups, and let's grow relationships that are purposeful for God's glory. Just keep remembering God is for you and God is for your relationships. God bless you and bye.